Good evening, everyone. Here's the latest video update on this Christmas Eve, December 24th. And we start with the newly formed Tropical Depression 93W, and we also have your Christmas forecast. But can we begin with 93W, which is now moved across the Philippine Sea, still poorly defined, and in fact only the Japan Meteorological Agency is classifying it as a tropical depression right now. Joint Typhoon Warning Center and Pagasa all keeping it as a weak disturbance. Now, this system was last located approximately 640 kilometers east of Surigao City, with sustained winds of 55 kilometers per hour with gusts of up to 85 kilometers per hour. System is moving west-northwestward at 30 kilometers per hour. Now, looking at this infrared image, this visible image, and actually look at the infrared image, you can see the system very disorganized, convective activity very scattered, and doesn't really have that tropical look just yet. The low-level circulation center also poorly defined here. Now, as you can see, we do have some strong convective activity right near the storm, the low-level center. But again, the system not really exhibiting any sort of substantial development over the past 24 hours. Although, again, that convective activity has really persisted for at least 2 to 3 days now. So, still the threat of some widespread rains in store for parts of central and southern Philippines. Now, in fact, looking at the infrared image, you can see some of that convection now beginning to move in. Still about 600 kilometers east of Visayas and Mindanao, so still about 24 at this rate, still about 24 hours before we see the heaviest rains move in. But Hinatuan radar beginning to pick up on some of those thunderstorm and convection just off the coast. These are mainly light and isolated and shouldn't really be a concern just yet. Again, the heaviest rains are forecast to move in about 24 hours, so by Christmas afternoon tomorrow evening, perhaps expect that to begin impacting parts of the Philippines. Now you can see the Japan Meteorological Agency, again the only agency really looking at this as a tropical depression, forecasting this to actually become a tropical storm in the next 24 hours. The next name in the international list would be Wukong. The local name is Kinta. But Pagasa again has said they don't really expect this system to intensify, and the agency is usually stubborn at times, so I don't expect them to upgrade the system anytime soon. Nevertheless, intensify or not, the threat of widespread heavy rains are definitely there, especially for parts of Visayas and the islands of Samar and Leyte. So for your forecast, looking at the widespread here, looking at the infrared image here from the NOAA, you can see the bulk of convective activity associated with the tropical disturbance across the Philippine Sea will be moving westward, impacting parts of Samar and Leyte, and eventually the majority of Visayas Islands, including southern Luzon and northern Mindanao. If you look at the 2-day rainfall forecast, this is a smoothed out image and doesn't really accurately depict the rainfall forecast here, but the green line, you can see areas will be receiving around 50 millimeters. The blue would be receiving around 100 millimeters, and we also have included a narrow swath of area here that could receive as high as 150 millimeters. So looking at this data here, you can see the heaviest rains will be located across the islands of Visayas, particularly out here in Samar and Leyte, and also parts of Cebu and Negros and Panay may also get in some of those heavier rains. Also parts of eastern Luzon, computer models showing some heavy rains moving in across there by tomorrow and Thursday as well, courtesy of the converging winds from the easterlies and also from the northeast monsoon. The black line here is the forecast model, forecast track from the GFS model, taking the system across perhaps northern Mindanao, perhaps Surigao, and again into the islands of Visayas. But remember that the system is somewhat northern heavy. The center of circulation is located somewhere over here, but much of the convection is located north of that center, which means, again, if it tracks just like this one, the heaviest rains will be confined to the northern areas. Hopefully, the impacted areas here from Bopa out here in northern Mindanao won't be affected as much, but still we are expecting some light rain showers to impact that region as well. Actually, if you look at the forecast for tomorrow, you can see the heaviest rains again will be confined across Samar, Leyte, and parts of Surigao. Light rain showers also will begin impacting Cebu, Iloilo, and Naga City out here in Bicol region. The northern Luzon area will also get some rains due to the northeast monsoon. Parts of central Luzon such as Dagupan, Subic, Manila, Mindoro, and Palawan will have better weather, partly cloudy skies with some slight chances for isolated thunderstorms. As we move into Thursday, December 26th, Wednesday, December 26th is what I meant. You can see much of the Visayas region is now under the threat of some heavy rains and even some thunderstorms as the system moves across. We are talking about windy conditions out here as well, perhaps some 30 to 50 kilometers per hour, along with that heavy rainfall. Again, threat of 100 to even 150 millimeters of rain could fall in these islands as we move into Wednesday. Parts of northern and central Luzon will also begin to receive light to moderate rain showers, including Metro Manila, again due to the expanding coverage of the rainfall brought about by this disturbance. Also some rain showers as well for parts of northern and central Mindanao, including Davao and Zamboanga provinces. So just to recap here, again, we expect those heavy rains to begin impacting eastern Visayas beginning tomorrow evening, perhaps as early as tomorrow afternoon, as those convective bands beginning to move in from the east will overspread much of Visayas as we move into Wednesday, December 26th, and will again impact much of the Philippine Islands, unfortunately, as we head into the latter part of this week. And that concludes our video update for this Christmas Eve. We won't have an update tomorrow, fortunately, so just keep checking on Pag-asa and also the local TV and radio stations if you are in the projected path of this disturbance. Continue to check out Pag-asa, JMA for the official forecast tracks, and also Climate X for the radar data. Latest radar images from the numerous stations scattered across the Philippines. They have Baguio, Subic, Tagaytay, Cebu, and Hinatuan radar stations for your access for those latest radar rain data. Stay safe, guys. Have a happy holidays. Bye.